How's it feel to be on this side of the camera?
It's a little bizarre.
What's bizarre about it?
This isn't my spot.
It's not your spot. No. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me on this video chat. I just wanted to basically do the same thing I did with John.
Oh, okay.
Is learn about the last year.
Okay.
How long have we been working together?
It was right around the time I graduated, so that would have been May.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did our first video project together was a conference.
Yes. Yes.
That was fun. I remember like the day one video footage wasn't uploading. I couldn't like preview it from the SD card or something like that. So I was like kind of concerned because I thought maybe we lost out on all of day one, but it was fine. There was a lot of stuff that was taken that day. What was one of the biggest takeaways from that project?
From the conference?
Yeah.
It was good for me to be more on my feet because a lot of the stuff I do in school was a lot of staged shots, like this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where I controlled the lighting and the camera position and the audio. Like I had complete control over the set and I could do multiple takes.
Yeah.
This conference was a lot more of you're on your feet, you get one shot to get it, and you got to get it right. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good practice to do that. And my takeaway from that was just learning different ways or things to keep in mind to, be on my feet. I'm trying not to repeat myself too much, but
No, that's fine. What would you do differently if you were to do it again?
Check my white balance.
I would agree with that one.
Yeah, it was just more of like it was like oh crap, we're going, and I just hit record, and then it was like, oh, everything's yellow, but
yeah,
fix it in post.
It worked. That's a mentality you gotta get out of.
I know.
Gotta get out of the mentality. What's been one of the biggest differences between going to school and working with my company?
Biggest differences.
Differences or lessons or paradigm shifts.
I guess the difference would be it's a lot more independent.
Okay.
Than school. Because when I was in school, our classes were really small, like 5 to 7 people. So we were very like much a team.
Yeah.
Like when we were doing our individual projects,
okay,
we all just kind of did the rotation of who was working boom, who was working camera, lights, and whatnot.
Yeah.
With this is a lot more of just me, and then trying to, just reach the expectations that are set for me.
Okay. Would you prefer to be more in contact for certain projects? Like, did you like that group atmosphere? Like more check-ins type of stuff, or
I like both. I like being on my own and having full control and just being independent, but I also do like working in teams.
Okay.
So it's kind of both.
Okay. What's been one of the failures? What's a failure that you experienced, or I don't know, a lesser term than failure?
I think John said setback.
Setback. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So this year, I've mentioned it a little bit, but it's probably been one of the roughest years of my life just because of stuff at home with my relationship. And I've let that kind of leak into other aspects of my life, like my professional and career.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where I don't get work done and don't communicate because I'm preoccupied with something else, or I don't have access to my computer or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to a point where I'm over it. Okay. And I'm reconstructing that whole atmosphere, and that shouldn't be an ip.
Gotcha. I didn't mean to put you on the spot or anything.
No, that's fine. I get it. Like there's been a lot of weeks where I just kind of disappear, and it's because I'm preoccupied with some BS that's going on at home, but I'm completely over it now, and like
Okay.
we're, I'm moving on to a new chapter.
Okay. That's cool. Is there anything I can do to help you be successful or support you in your growth?
I mean, you don't really got to change much. Just like, I think the check-ins are good. The projects we've been working on are good, and I appreciate like you've been patient with me during this time.
Yeah.
That's been a huge relief. Not that I'm trying to take advantage of it or anything. It's just I appreciate the patience, because I know there's been a lot of times, and I'm pretty disappointed in myself with like if I don't like respond to an email, or don't get a lot of work done in a week, or just miss a deadline or something. Well, yeah, I think I have.
Okay. I feel that we hold ourselves to a higher standard usually than other people do.
Mm-hmm.
So been pretty good on hitting deadlines, and we're recording ahead. We're batching stuff, so we've been pretty good. But I think that's something that we can work on together moving forward in 2025. Just getting a little bit more, like I said, setting expectations, and then the communication. And I would take the failure on that. I'll own that, because I don't think I fully set expectations in place. I think I gave you a lot of freedom, and probably too much freedom. That not freedom. Freedom's not the right word, but
I know what you're getting at.
But I think I just, I feel like I'm failing you in not coaching you, or not mentoring, or giving you advice, or giving more feedback on projects or what you're doing. So I'll take ownership on that. But that's something that we can we can turn the page and go into a new chapter and set new expectations and conversations and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. That's like part of the evolution of a business, is that, or evolution of life, or evolution of you. It's like you don't have to continue to play the same stories. You don't have to continue to live the same life. You can decide to do it a different way. You can decide to grow. You can decide to change your algorithm, but all of it's very difficult to do, because we're in our comfort zone, and stepping outside that is uncomfortable, and it's nice and cozy and warm inside the comfort zone.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating how people get cozy even in bad situations. Like you were talking about your pool of chaos.
Yeah.
I've been in my own, and I've tried to get out of it before, but I always would come back.
Yeah.
Because it was familiar, and that's just what I'm used to. And I'm just realizing that every time I come back, it just ends up being the same thing, if not regressing.
Yeah.
And it's just, I gotta, step out of that and stay out of it.
It's certainly difficult. But I found that there's nothing wrong with asking for help and leaning on someone. I'm not saying that I'm that person or whatever. I can be if you need me to be, but like there's like this stigma, I think, of people or students or young adults or even older adults that are afraid to ask for help, even though they know they need help in getting out of a old story that they're playing, or a old situation, or this vortex of stepping out of the pool and then like, oh, oops, I fell back in, type of thing. But yeah, it's just being aware and growing and trying to grow. I say that not to talk at you. I've been through that, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in my own pool of chaos, and again trying to step out. And there's like several pools of chaos that I'm in, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to dissolve myself from them, so that I can take on the weight and the pressure of all the stuff that I'm trying to do.
Right.
Not trying to make this about me, but
Oh no.
what can you tell me about a really fun moment that you've experienced in the last 6 months that we've worked together?
Fun moment. I liked the shoot. Was it Spots? Was that the company?
Yeah,
Where we're at the train car
yeah,
restaurant. That was really fun.
yeah. I
I
thought
like
so too.
I liked working with everybody, and Colin I knew from school, so I was a little familiar with him. And then Alec, I met him briefly at the conference, but not
Yeah,
too much.
yeah,
And then it was good to get to know him a little bit better, and
yeah.
it was a fun atmosphere.
That was a fun shoot. That was the first time that I was like I was trying to let Alec run the shoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how did he do?
I think he did good.
Yeah. Would there be any you have any constructive criticisms?
Nothing really stood out to me that he did wrong. Like he was clear about what he wanted, but he wasn't an ass about it. So like he was polite and pleasant to work with.
Yeah.
And that's really all you can ask for, is just being pleasant and direct.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's important. Communication is certainly key.
Yeah.
In everything that we're doing. What is something that you're looking forward to in 2025?
Something I'm looking forward to. Quite a bit actually. So in 2025, I'm excited to see what new projects will come up, personal and professional. I'm going to school again. Well, taking a class that I didn't get to take because it got canceled. But I'm going to go do that and learn how to make documentaries. I got a lot of personal projects I want to get done that are in my personal pipeline.
Yeah.
And then, just going back to what I was talking about before, stepping out of my chaos, like I plan on staying out of it and then seeing where that leads me.
Okay.
And so it's exciting to just have a change of pace.
Yeah. What different creative projects are you working on personally?
Oh, personal projects?
Yeah.
So I do music and films are the two things that I like to do, and then sometimes I combine them. So for a music project, I did a EDM album on the 7 Deadly Sins, where each song is addressing each one about like struggling with it and then like kind of overcoming it at the end. So like an example, envy is about self-acceptance, and then gluttony is about substance abuse, but like learning not to do that.
Yeah.
Lust is about finding actual love.
Okay.
And so on. And then
interesting.
So I am almost done with the music side of it, and then I have a friend who does 3D animation. I'm commissioning them to do 3D animations for it.
Okay.
And so I guess now I have a subcontractor, kind of. Sort of. It's more of like, hey, do me a favor, but this is a big favor, so I'm going to pay you.
Yeah. That's basically what I do.
Yeah.
Lucas, do me a favor, but it's a big favor. Here, let me pay you.
Yep.
That's funny.
And then I want to do another live action short film like I did last year, where I had a bunch of people helping me out with it, with a bunch of special effects involved. And I have an idea for it, but like it's very early in pre-production. So I got to actually get going on that, make a script and whatnot.
Okay.
But those are the big ones. And I have like little projects sprinkled in that I want to do. I did that game show thing back in November, right around the election, where I had...
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I watched that.
Yeah, I had two of my buddies campaign against each other. I want to do more things like that where
Yeah.
we just kind of do fun challenges for a day.
Yep.
I don't know if I'll have it be as competitive as that one. Maybe just do more of like teamwork type things, so that way I can like participate and not just facilitate it.
Right.
But
I
go ahead.
I think it's super important, and I thought it was really cool that you were doing that, because when people graduate school, they don't do anything creative. Like some people don't do their own projects from a creative standpoint. So it's a muscle that you have to continue to work. You have to continue to stretch it. Yeah, exactly. You use it or lose it. So it's really exciting to see you continue to do that and do different creative things. Like you got the music and you have video, and you came up with this idea for a game show, and then you filmed it, you executed on it, and it's this is just the first one, and then as you continue to do that, it will continue to evolve and grow, and then maybe morph a little bit into this weird thing, and maybe you create your own universe, and it's just kind of a cool thing to see when creative people continue to do creative projects. I found that as a creative, I sometimes want to do different creative projects. Do you come up with that? Do you have that feeling at all?
You want to do different creative projects?
Yeah. So like for the last 10 years, I've been mostly doing video projects, right? And then I have Bake Mobility that's been going on since 2016. That character. So a long time. I should just finish a project. I just have these long extended projects. But I think like coloring or drawing or a puzzle, just something, or video games are a little different, but like learning to play an instrument. Just, I think we get into the rhythm of a certain creativity exercise, and then we become comfortable in that that circle. So if we're not stretching our creative muscles, if we're not stretching what we can do from a creative standpoint, are we losing out on a creative aspect of ourselves by not trying different things from a creative place?
I mean, I'd say I have a little bit of an itch to go outside of the box. Like I have a little bit of interest in learning photography, because photography is kind of its own whole world separate from video.
Yeah.
But like just because of how hand in hand they go.
Yeah.
And like if you know one, everybody expects you know the other.
Right.
And it's like
you do video, you do pictures, right? Like,
yeah,
I can.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah.
But where I get my creative outlet is, I mean, granted, it's a lot of the same kind of stuff, where it's music and video.
Yeah.
But those worlds are very diverse. There's a lot of different genres in there. And one thing I kind of struggled with music was like trying to figure out how to label myself.
Okay.
Because I never knew what the hell I am. Like,
okay.
I just say EDM, but EDM itself is still very vague.
Okay.
Because like sometimes I'll do something that's very upbeat and poppy, and then I'll do something that's very slow and ambient, or then sometimes I'll just do something that's straight up acoustic.
Yeah.
And it's hard to figure out what genre I am, but like then again, I don't want to stick to a genre because I don't get bored.
Right. Okay. I interesting mindset.
That's the thing is with film too, is that like all my films are pretty different from each other.
Yeah.
Like I did that, well, the game show thing I talked about, where it was more of like a live thing, and that's not something I usually do. As you could probably tell, I didn't really rehearse my lines. I was just kind of winging it off the cuff. I was like, this is what we're doing. And,
yeah.
And then, but then I have other things like short films Like I did my honors project for my last semester of school, where it was a bunch of people, and then I had this cartoon that was implemented into the actual scenes.
Yeah.
That took a lot of editing.
Yeah.
Because I had to make the cartoon, make the puppet, and then I had to do the lip sync, and then animate the puppet, and then composite the puppet into the actual scene. And
it looked really good.
Well, thank you. I spent a lot of time on it, like a whole semester.
That's why I reached out to you about doing initially.
Oh yeah, that's what Colin said.
Doing the Bacon with Billy stuff.
Yeah.
So
I feel like a bit of an imposter because that was the first time I really did animation, and now I'm like hired as an animator. I was like, oops. Like I guess.
No, I mean it's there's no expectations without making it seem bad.
Right.
Like you're still green, you're still learning. But I have this idea for this thing, and I can't do it. So really, I'll take anything. And what you created, again, I'm not trying to make it sound like you did bad work. You did not do bad work. I'm very elated about what we created together with that character and that brand, and I don't think it's something that the subscribers on the channel are expecting to see.
It'll hit them off guard.
Which is really exciting because it's like opening a new door, a new chapter into that channel. And I couldn't do that without your help. So it's really cool. Anyway, so thank you for sitting down with me and having this conversation. I think that I'm really excited to continue to work with you over 2025 with this project and then other projects as well. This is a big project.
I looked at the spreadsheet. It's like 100 chapters, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah. So I think we're at
55. I think is the most recent one.
So we're over halfway, which is great. But yeah, it's a big trap. It's a big project. So, everything I'm saying where you're taking a lot of time off my plate you're saving me a lot of time by being a part of this project, it's tremendous, a tremendous amount of help. So I very much appreciate you taking the time to come here and, sub the equipment, and then we're just continuing to kind of streamline the processes and improve efficiencies. And I think we'll continue to do that in 2025. And that's especially what I'm working on in my business. So taking a look at all the things I'm doing with all the people that I'm working with and figuring out what is the most efficient way to do the process and to make sure that we're on top of all the stuff.
Yeah.
But then also being available to you or to the other subcontractors for any coaching or, one-on-one opportunities as well. So lots of growth this year. Lots of different types of projects, especially if you're helping out with the Bacon with Billy brand. There's a lot of creative freedom in that, which is fun. So I'm just excited to have you along for the journey.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. That's all I got.
All right.
Cool.